Gambling has become a global obsession. From buzzing casinos in Vegas and Macau to sports betting apps on your phone, it's now possible to place a bet at any moment, from anywhere. What was once a leisure activity for a few has transformed into a trillion-dollar industry, highly accessible, highly addictive, and increasingly dangerous. Behind the flashing lights and big win slogans is a growing crisis. Today, we're taking a hard look at how the gambling epidemic is quietly destroying society. Before we dive into the full story, drop a comment below where you are watching from and what do you know about the bad side of gambling. And if this kind of content matters to you, hit like, share this video, and subscribe for more eye-opening stories. Let's start with the scale. Globally, gambling revenue is projected to hit nearly $700 billion by 2028. More than a quarter of the world's population has gambled at least once, and over 80% of Americans do it every year. But here's what's alarming. It's estimated that 1.2% of the global adult population suffers from gambling addiction. That's tens of millions of people hidden in plain sight. And the numbers get worse. In countries like Australia, the average adult loses nearly $1,000 a year to gambling. In the US, over 5 million people are currently struggling with problem gambling, and many don't even realize they're addicted. So why is gambling so addictive? It's not just about chasing money. Gambling triggers a dopamine rush, just like drugs. That thrill of a near win, the hope that this next bet will fix everything, that's what keeps people hooked. It creates a powerful cycle of highs and lows, rewards and losses. Add to that the gambler's fallacy, the belief that after several losses, a win is due. It's a mental trap. And just like substance addiction, gambling can create tolerance and withdrawal, where you need to bet more just to feel the same rush, and you suffer mentally when you try to stop. Now imagine taking that addiction and putting it in everyone's pocket. Online gambling and mobile apps have changed the game. You no longer need to walk into a casino. You can place bets at 3 a.m. in your pajamas. In the US, 94% of sports bets in 2023 were placed online. Globally, the online gambling market is expected to reach $370 billion by 2032. Apps are designed for speed. You can place hundreds of bets in minutes. There's no cash to hand over, just digital swipes, making it easier to lose control. And worse? These platforms use targeted ads, bonuses, and gamified rewards to keep users engaged. It's not entertainment, it's behavioral manipulation. But the damage goes beyond the gambler. Gambling addiction leads to financial ruin, bankruptcy, foreclosures, and drained savings. In the US, the average gambling addict loses around $55,000, often maxing out credit cards and taking payday loans. It devastates families. Trust is broken. Marriages end. Children suffer. Studies show that for every gambling addict, up to 6 people around them are affected. Some addicts lie, steal, or even commit crimes to feed their habit. In one survey, 33% of gambling addicts admitted to robbery and 13% to physical assault just to get gambling money. And the darkest consequence? Suicide. Gambling addicts are 15 times more likely to die by suicide than the general population. Let's put a face to this epidemic. A 35-year-old father in Australia started betting as a teen. Over 2 decades, he lost $150,000, lying to his family, borrowing from friends, and even stealing from his own household savings. He described ignoring phone calls, skipping meals, and forgetting about his kids while glued to betting apps. At his lowest point, he attempted to take his own life. Another case? A single mother who left her kids in the car outside a casino just for a few minutes. Hours later, authorities found them still waiting. She was reported for child neglect, and it nearly cost her custody. These aren't rare stories. They're everywhere, happening silently. Some argue that gambling boosts the economy through taxes and jobs. But what are we losing in return? In the US, gambling addiction costs society $14 billion annually in healthcare, lost productivity, crime, and welfare. In Sweden, the cost is over 1.4 billion euros per year. And for every dollar lost, that's money not spent on rent, food, education, or savings. In poorer communities, gambling acts like a regressive tax, draining money from those who can least afford it. Governments are often complicit. Many depend on gambling revenue, especially from lotteries. That creates a conflict of interest. Protect people or protect profits? The good news? Change is possible. Countries like Belgium have banned nearly all gambling ads. The UK has banned credit card gambling. Sweden and Norway now require gamblers to set spending limits and have national self-exclusion programs. There are growing calls for stricter regulations, banning targeted ads, limiting maximum bets, enforcing mandatory breaks, funding addiction treatment with gambling revenue, and crucially, education, teaching kids early on that the house always wins and that gambling is not a path to wealth, but a dangerous illusion. So, where do we go from here? Gambling in moderation can be harmless fun. But for millions, it's a hidden addiction with devastating consequences. It tears apart families, wrecks finances, destroys mental health, and it's spreading faster than ever before through our phones, sports, and screens. We can't afford to ignore this any longer. Governments, tech companies, and communities must take action not to ban gambling outright, but to make it safer, smarter, and more humane. Because in the end, it's not just about dollars lost, it's about lives lost. Let's stop treating gambling addiction as an invisible problem and start confronting it with open eyes and open hearts. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling, help is available. You are not alone, and recovery is possible. Now, drop a comment and tell us, do you think governments are doing enough to control gambling harm? Tap that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the issues shaping our world. Thanks for watching.